everyone. So today I just wanted to touch on the alkaline water. So I get a lot of questions in general, but as I work with a lot of inflammation, gut health, it's known that an alkaline environment can really help take away disease, take away inflammation. So more of an acidic environment can cause more of a environment for candida to grow, cancers to grow, inflammation, more of a dis-ease state. And nobody wants that, right? So there's this alkaline water, and the question is, does this water really work? Does this water change the environment of the body to make the environment healthier so that you don't feel inflammation, so you have a less chance of cancer growing within? And so that's what I want to look at today with you. And so alkaline water, or the alkaline water, is usually about a 9. So on the scale, 1 being most acidic, 10 being most base. Water is about a 7. So that's going to be right there in the middle. The alkaline water is very, very base. So let's look at how it really works within the body. So you drink the water, and it's not really going to change the pH of the water. It stays there for a few seconds. Your esophagus stays there for a few seconds, reaches your stomach. Your stomach, anything that reaches your stomach is going to be there for about 3 to 4 hours. And so we have to look at that. That's definitely going to have an effect on your stomach. So your stomach, as you know, is huge for the digestion. It has a pH of 2. We want to stay about 2. And so that 2, that stomach acid, is going to help break down your food. Majority of your proteins are broken down, are hydrolyzed within your stomach. It's done so by an enzyme called peptase. Peptase needs a low acidic environment to function, to work. So they go hand in hand together. So if we look at the alkaline water, we drink the water, it stays in our stomach. So what is going on there? You had a very, very base to an environment that needs a very acidic environment to function. We can be taking away the beneficial digestion that is really needed to happen within that environment. And so really just think about that for a second. If it doesn't pass the stomach, and we're increasing now the pH of the stomach acid from a 2 to maybe a 4, and our enzymes need a 2 to function and break down the proteins correctly, is it beneficial? And at this point, it's not looking very beneficial. If those protein structures get past the stomach into the duodenum, they are very hard to break down at that point. And so we want most of that to be done in the stomach where it's meant to be broken down. Some people have a lot of stomach acid, and some people have a lower amount of stomach acid. And you're going to, usually the signs and symptoms of those are burping, gas, bloating. For people with a high amount of stomach acid, it's going to be the GERD, the acid reflux, vomiting, nausea, ulcers, burping. For those who have a low amount of stomach acid, more of heartburn, diarrhea, gas, bloating, feeling like they have to eat when they don't really have to eat. So some of them do overlap, and it's kind of hard to tell if you have a high amount of stomach acid or a low amount of stomach acid. And also with the signs and symptoms that I had just mentioned, it can have to do with the amount of stomach acid within your stomach. But something else I want you to look at for yourself, if this is something you're looking into, or you struggle with heartburn and GERD and burping and belching and gas, is if you've stretched out your stomach muscles, where it reaches the lower part of your esophagus, if your stomach is stretched, there's a flap that goes over it that makes sure that the acid does not go back into your esophagus. So if your stomach is stretched, this flap may not hold a seal. And if you don't have that seal, you're also going to get stomach acid that goes back into your esophagus that will lead to the same signs and symptoms. So the burning in your throat, the belching, the burping, the GERD, the feeling like you have something stuck in your throat. So kind of look at you as an individual of why it might be happening. And there are tests. So there are tests that you can take to find out if you have a high amount of stomach acid or a low amount of stomach acid. And that's going to be the Heidenberg's test, the benzene hydrochloric acid test, and the baking soda test. These you can find out online how to do it. You can do it at home. They're pretty simple. Please ask your physician before you do it. But that can kind of give you a overview of where your stomach acid is within your stomach. We don't want too much, we don't want too little. We want enough to hold the enzymes that we want. We want them at a pH to break down the proteins and to turn our food into it's kind of like a soup. So it's very easily digested when it moves on to our small intestines. It's when we keep the large molecules, because they haven't been broken down enough in the stomach into our small intestines, that we can have other type of stomach pains or a diarrhea of not being able to break down those foods once it goes past. We have to do more of an elimination. So starting up at chewing is very important, that all the mechanics and the enzymes are working properly to digest our foods. That way it could be absorbed and utilized correctly as it goes through the system. So going back to the alkaline water, those who have a lot of stomach acid, it may be beneficial to have some of the water, but also the medicine or poison is in the dosing, right? Maybe just don't drink it all the time, because you don't want to put it on the other side also to where now you don't have enough stomach acid to do the job. For those who don't have enough stomach acid, you're not going to want to continue to decrease the amount of stomach acid. You need it to break down. You need it to serve its purpose. So the water in itself that is stopping in the stomach, I would not say is the most beneficial way to put the body at an alkaline state, to decrease inflammation, to decrease dis-ease, to help fight cancer. It's not going to be my first approach, and it may actually be doing a little more harm than good. As far as like an alkaline food diet works pretty differently, and I'm going to go over that in a different video. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. All right, take care. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to get more tips, tricks, and insights. Visit innatemedicalnutrition.com for more resources and to learn about our programs, Great from Leaky Gut, Inflammation